Everybody does it. Like I don't know. I don't know why they make it such a big deal. Everybody cheats. Yeah, even our politicians cheat. Yeah. Welcome back to A Man's Perspective. Today I have the privilege of speaking with Matthew Garcia. Matthew Garcia is a ministry student at. Is it ministry student?
Yeah, ministry student.
Okay, ministry student at Biola University. One of the most difficult things you can pick up to do because that comes straight from the heart. So Matthew, thank you for being here.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure, man. You know, I am very much an extrovert. I love talking to people, and honestly, even starting my own podcast or just doing stuff like this is something that I always love the opportunity to do, man. So
oh man, that'd be fantastic, dude.
Yeah, man. So I appreciate the opportunity, man, and well, definitely thankful for James, previous guest on this podcast. As a matter of fact, 2 times.
Yeah.
He brought this opportunity up to me, like, okay, sure, you know, I love doing stuff like this, so I'm thankful for him too, just for bringing up this opportunity to me.
Awesome, thank you, brother. Thank you so much, man. All right, I prepared some questions.
Yeah,
you okay if I ask you them?
I'm perfectly fine.
Awesome. Okay, were there any teachers, mentors, or experiences that encouraged you to pursue pastoral ministry? Like that's such a tough decision to make. Like, what made you go that route?
Yeah, for me, what made me go that route? You know, just personally, man, I know not a lot of people would call themselves a believer of Christ, you know, a Christian. Like I understand that, but just my own personal conviction and just where I'm at with my relationship with the Lord. It happened 3 years ago. I was at a summer camp and just in the season of life where I wasn't sure where I was going to go, like vocationally and like what I was going to do in my life. You know, I had all these ambitions to be a politician, go into public speaking. Yeah. I had all this planned, but you know, just my junior year of high school, you know, I kind of just dropped the ball. You know, I usually high student, grade 8. I was on top of my game, man. But just a lot was going on, and just long story short, you know, I wasn't doing good grade wise, and I thought it would be a good idea to cheat on a test just to save my butt, man. Just to be able to.
Everybody does it. Like I don't know why they make it such a big deal. Everybody cheats. Yeah, even our politicians cheat. Yeah,
you're right about that. But just you know, I did that just so I could keep my grades up, and honestly, just for the sake of keeping like my reputation, my credibility in place, because. You know, I have that going for me, and I kind of want to be in the position of leadership just to be a good influence to people. And so because of that mistake, I did lose the position of leadership I was in. It kind of, and I was just in a season of just not doing the things I need to do. You know,
did you get caught cheating?
Yeah, because I got caught cheating, and exactly, and that's humiliating. That was humiliating, man. And that was definitely a tough season for me to be in. And so. Yeah, just I wasn't motivated. I wasn't just living up to my own standards at the academy, but just my own standards. I was doing good in school, but that caused me just to go on a downhill spiral. And so just my experience of going to this camp, the church that I go to just blessed me the opportunity. And I went, and, you know, for me, I was able to receive and just have community there. And for me, I just had an experience where I felt like I had a call given to me to be a pastor, and we're talking about just a man's perspective. Just looking back at my own life, just my family, you know, like within my own bloodline, I couldn't really look up to my father nor my older brother, you know.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
A lot of just generational curses, just, you know, and just things from my family bloodline affecting my father and like my mother and so on and so forth. It just affects people. It affects their actions, their behavior. And so that what happened to my dad, and also didn't help that my dad just had a mental illness growing up, you know, undiagnosed, and just dealing with that was difficult. And just that influence, unfortunately, affected my own older brother. So I didn't really could look up to him. And and my mom, like after divorcing my father, she dated other men like she has. And like they're good, solid men. And they're definitely not the same level my dad was, but even with that, I felt like I still couldn't emulate them. I couldn't look up to them. And so I feel like God has called me to be a older brother figure and a father figure to people that don't have any in their life like me.
Dude, there's a lot of people like that, brother. There's a lot.
No, definitely. We're not alone in our struggles, you know. It's easy to think that we're alone in our struggles. And I just want to just tell the audience right now, you're not alone in your struggles whatsoever. That it's just a lie, it's definitely a lie. And I just wanted to encourage you to be able to seek help, just be able to seek community with other people, even go to church, like, again, religion, not everyone might be a fan of it, but I say, like, that's something you could try and just see how it goes. And, just trying that, and also just going to therapy as well to be able to just release your feelings, because just balling up your feelings isn't a helpful thing either. Yeah. And so and it's going back on topic about just, is my calling. Yeah, though I felt like God has given me a call to be an older brother figure and a father figure to other people like me that didn't have any. And then I'm convinced that he told me that in order for that to happen, I had to become a pastor to do it, Yeah. And you mentioned it's a difficult thing. Yeah, it's definitely a difficult thing. Yeah. It's a difficult thing for sure,
What a beautiful thing you just said, Matthew, that we're not alone. Because many times in life, especially as men, we feel like we're alone. We feel like we have no one to turn to. And what a beautiful thing to tell someone that they're not alone, that there's places you can go to with each other, with church, with God. That's what a tremendous thing to say, brother. Yeah.
I can't say it's me, man. I say I'm convinced that, again, my own personal belief, I think it's just God just giving me the words of wisdom.
Wow. That's tremendous. Here's one that a lot of guys have you ever struggled with self-doubt?
Self-doubt, and what would self-doubt look like?
Maybe you don't believe in your abilities. Maybe you're doubting whether that decision you just made was right or wrong. Well, like your move to become a pastor, like I'm sure many times in life you're like, man, this is hard. God, do you really want me to do this? Like, do you ever doubt those?
No, yeah, definitely those moments have came for sure, and definitely just a little more about my own upbringing. Like I grew up with 2 learning disabilities at a young age: a speech impediment, the ability to not really be able to speak fluently, and just sounding like I'm speaking gibberish all the time.
No, you're very eloquent, brother. You sound good.
I appreciate that, but at times though, it's still a struggle with that. That's still a struggle. Another learning disability that I have is called auditory processing disorder, or ADP. Basically. The condition is which I could hear people just fine. I'm not deaf whatsoever, but I just don't retain a lot of things at the time. I hear words, but my brain doesn't process it automatically. Or I could confuse words like easily, and I could just mix up my sentences easily. And so just at times when I have those self-doubts, like just my imperfection, they're like, oh yeah, like why am I just speaking the way I am? Like why am I like this, I have doubt in my own ability because of my disabilities, but I've had people in my life to really empower me, like I definitely had teachers be able to tell me. I know my choir teacher in 8th grade, she really encouraged me with this saying, like I have disabilities, but that doesn't make me disabled. That makes me differently able. Differently able, because like it's hard to do things like everyone else, like it may take more time for me to do things like everyone else could do easily, but it's possible. It's definitely possible. And that's something that stuck with me till this day, like just talking about like 2018, where it's still, that word still sticks with me till today.
Did you have to go through a lot of therapy to overcome your speech impediment?
No, yeah. So I actually got held back a year because of my learning disabilities, and that needed to happen so I could get put in the special day program, so I could get the support needed. So I was in speech therapy. I was in occupational training or occupational therapy. It's basically like motor functions.
Yeah.
No, so I was in that too, because that time, like growing up as well, I had difficult time with like movements and just doing things, understanding things. And so I was placed in that too, but it was through that and just the support I got through my teachers, and then I was able to thrive and even be able to get out of special day programs. I got out of it like 5th grade, and then 8th grade I was completely off like all like additional support through IEP, individual education plan. I was able to get through all that.
Wow, what a tremendous story, brother. I know typically on this podcast, we try to have a meal and commute so that we can get to know each other. But you kind of just showed up and bam, we're here. So I haven't had a chance to really know your history or talk to you about your history. Dude, what an awesome story. So many people would give up. So many people would just like, oh, I'm not even gonna try it. But look at you, dude, you're in university, brother. What a tremendous story of power, of achievement, of overcoming stuff. Dude, you should be very proud of yourself, man. That is a tremendous story. I didn't know it. I didn't know it. Wow, Matthew, be very, very proud of yourself. Never doubt yourself. Dude, you're in university, brother. You know, just getting to university is tough enough as it is. And then to have those disabilities or those learning problems, like, dude, be very proud of yourself. Damn. Good for you.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah. And, you know, and I give credit to just the good influential community I had and just the support system. And again, personally speaking, God, you know, like.
Wow, dude. Have you had any opportunities to teach or preach?
Yeah. So, well, actually, as of March 28th, this long story short, I've been helping out at a Christian club at La Mirada High School for the past couple months since October, but I've been getting more involved since last month. And so we were talking with some of my friends in charge of the club, and then we were going over a teaching schedule. Like, hey, you wanna like teach one of these days? So like, sure, I will love to do it. And so I'm actually going to be preaching to some high school students during their lunchtime on the 28th. I'm talking about influence. Yeah, I'm going to talk about community with the significance, with the impact of influence in community.
Dude, put your life into that, dude, because you're such an inspiration. The things that you've had to overcome, people are going to relate to that and they're going to be moved by that. Dude, you should keep your life in whatever you're trying to, whatever lesson you give or sermon you're giving, put your life in there.
I appreciate that. And then I have the opportunities to share before in the past, just like sermons. We have a men's gathering every Saturday morning at my church. Yeah, like once a month we meet with another church around the area. And so I want time to give a message for our men's breakfast. I'm trying to recall what I talked about. I think just talk about the importance of influence as well. And honestly, like, I know I have a whole thing with influence, but I mean, it's true though. Like, you know, like the people you surround yourself with, like they eventually influence you.
Yeah.
And what you consume and what you like think about influences you.
Yeah. I've seen studies where, like, if you're the people around you make like a significant amount more money than you, you're going to increase your finances by 50%. But if you're around people who make a significant amount less money than you, your finances lower by 30%.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So I read these studies. So what you just said about the people around you is so important. It's super, super important. That's good advice, man. That's really good advice. All right, my producer wrote, what inspired you to join student government at Biola University?
Oh, too funny. So what got me involved in student government, I told you before, like, you know, like I in past before, like 8th grade, I had ambitions to do politics, you know, local politics. And I just love like serving people, you know, just being there for people and just helping them. Cause for me in my own life, like people have helped me. And so I just a willingness to give back. And so that really sparked it when I was in student government and 8th grade associated student body, ASB. I actually got elected class president that like my 8th grade year. And it was awesome, you know, just being able to serve students and just be able to be an advocate for the student body, you know? And so really I had that desire before, but honestly, like my main desire right now just focuses ministry. But, you know, I have played around with just with being a politician, you know, local politics. We'll see if that becomes fruition, man, you know, like we could easily plan things, but you know, God definitely just changes your plan. He may have something else in store for me. But what got me into student government at Biola was definitely just a willingness to serve the student body there and be able to make an impact on the student body. And so just because of just my own personal desirements and like my values, that's what got me into student government at Biola.
Yeah, politics is one of those things, man. God, it's so dangerous to go into because your whole life is exposed. But by
Yeah.
the same token, like politics is one of the few fields where they make a lot of politicians are super mega millionaires.
They are.
Yeah, so it's and fast. So wow, that's a bold move. That's a bold decision on your part. Well, here's a good question. What's the biggest lesson God has taught you through your journey?
Yeah. Oof. The biggest lesson God has taught me through my journey. Just gonna emulate again, man. It doesn't matter what like trials go through your way, and just like the circumstances you live in. Like you can't just feel bad about yourself and like really say like, why am I going through all this? Like why? But for me, God is teaching me that just through all my trials, there is goodness in trials. There is goodness through
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
bad things.
Yeah, yeah,
It,
yeah.
it teaches you something, even though it feels uncomfortable. It doesn't feel good. Sometimes we're put in uncomfortable situations, so we're taught something.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Struggles forge us. Struggles make us better. People that I've known people that don't because everyone struggles, but some people struggle more than others. And the people that have struggled the most usually end up accomplishing the most.
Mm.
That's what I've noticed in the people that I see around me. Yeah, that struggle, that forging of your character makes you strong, makes you determined, makes you driven. So yeah, I think struggles. I tell people around me, never run away from your struggles, never run away from problems. Run at them, face them, go toward them, and let them hit you. Let them do whatever they're gonna do, and you're gonna come out a bigger, better, stronger person on the other side.
Mm.
Uh, so what when were you first diagnosed with your learning disability?
Yeah, good question. So it was definitely at a young age. I gotta say, well, like probably like 5-ish, 4-ish, 6-ish. Like definitely like talking about 2008, 2009, 2010, around that
Yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but even before that, like my parents noticed, and like yeah, my teachers noticed. Like yeah, I had a hard time like just doing everyday singing, like just paying attention and comprehending things,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was noticed at a young age, and yeah, just some testing was done, and yeah, that's what came to the conclusion that I have some learning
Yeah.
disabilities.
That did that make your friendships difficult, your relationships difficult?
Yeah, no, definitely. I know growing up, like just telling you, like, yeah, like growing up, I didn't really have like a friend group per se, and like growing up in school, like, yeah, like I was friendly with people. I had people to talk to, I had friends,
Yeah.
but like I didn't really like hang out with a whole clique. Like I didn't have
Yeah.
like those kind of groups.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I remember just looking back now, like in 8th grade, I had a desire to like find somebody that was just like me. Like they had like learned a
Yeah.
learning disability,
Yeah.
and like they were just like me. I could relate to them. And like I couldn't really find that, but really just maturing, realizing that hey, like everyone is the reason they're made the reason. Like everyone, the people that maybe rephrase that. Gosh,
It's
I
okay.
have a
It's
lot of
okay. Take your
words.
time. Take your time,
Yeah,
brother.
just your imperfection. Like you're made just the way you're made. You're made for a reason. Like
Yeah.
basically, like it's not a coincidence that you're the person you are.
Yeah.
It's for a reason, and everyone has their flaws and their imperfections, their perfections. Everyone has that, but you need other people to like communicate with and to be with, so you could get their ideas, their experience. Everyone has different experience and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
backgrounds,
Yeah.
and so through that experience, good or bad, like you're able to learn from other people.
Wow. And now, how do you find friendships now that you've been through the the techniques, the training, and to make your communication better? How do you find your relationships now?
Yeah, just my relationships, just if I see somebody new, I just introduce myself to them, and I just talk to them for a bit, and then yeah, see if it clicks.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
like if we have a common interest, like okay, we'll talk about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll talk about what's happening with the new episode of Monday Night Raw on WWE.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
what's going on with this YouTuber right now, or
Yeah.
what's
Yeah.
going on in news. Like just finding common ground, be able to talk with people, and it's just another thing too. Like I also like just desire just community as well growing up.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I definitely felt alone for the most of my time just growing up and just like not having a lot of people to talk to. And yeah, I had people that cared about me and whatnot, but even that I still felt alone. And just to reiterate, like, yeah, like I'm not the only one who feels alone. Like
Oh, dude, a lot of guys I
everyone is
know.
going through the same struggles,
Yeah.
man. Just just a quote from scripture for me, again, just my own personal belief, you know, just quoting from the book of First Peter 5:8-9. The scripture says, you know, be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, because you know that the family of believers throughout the world is undergoing the same kind of sufferings.
Yeah, loneliness is such a big issue for men. I have a friend who married a lady he didn't even like because he was so tired of being lonely. He just wanted someone in his life. Yeah, he was just so tired of being alone. He just said this girl he had known. He just asked her to marry him because he was so tired of being alone.
I know. I would have been me if I wasn't like just mature where I'm at right now. I probably would just marry someone just not to feel one. But no, but definitely just in relationships as well. And I haven't even been in a relationship at all, man. You know, I haven't been, but just getting from other people, you know, is definitely just a difficult scene. Just trying to get with somebody that's imperfect as well. Like, you know, both imperfect people trying to get along and just like it's definitely just trying to find out like what areas you're compatible with, and like just knowing what areas like you're not gonna get along with, and just knowing that so you're able to get through that in your relationship.
I know as a man, like we desire to be in relationships and communication and close contact with women, but it's not always a great thing, you know. The fact that you can focus so much on your goals, on your priorities, you're gonna excel. You're gonna excel tremendously. Because I know so many guys they're like brilliant, and then they met a girl, and all of a sudden they're gone. You know, they fell off. Their goals left. They're just like, it's gone. I really think that sometimes women are sent to us to test us, to see if they're gonna pull us away from our goals, pull us away from our tasks, and help us go down. Or make us go down, not help us, but make us go down or away from our goals. So I know it feels bad at times, you know, but be happy that you're able to put so much of your energy into your goals, into your focus, into your ministry. That's a great thing. So, yeah. So what do you do when you feel lonely? Like, how do you get over that? What are some of the techniques that you use?
Yeah, just my techniques for just overcoming loneliness is, again, just my own personal belief is just knowing that God is with me, you know, like I'm never alone. Like God will never leave you or forsake you. And it just, even when I don't feel God or I can't even acknowledge it, God is with me. And also knowing that there are people who care for me, and like, I know I definitely felt with loneliness like my first year of college. So like the first couple of weeks.
Strange environment.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I just going to college is here. And I don't have any of my friends, any of my classmates I've grown up with. I went to the same school district past like 13 years or so. How long out, just K to 12. And like during my school, I had some classmates who would come with me to middle school and high school. But here I have none of that. None of that. And I remember just calling like one of my closest friends, like a brother to me, you know, like another brother to me, just calling him like every day, just to talk and whatnot. And even like my own pastor, you know, I'd call and just talk, but just to like, not just to cope with the loneliness, you know. But my friend, my brother was telling me like, hey, like, you know, like you gotta like, you have to learn to be alone at times, you know. It definitely feels uncomfortable, you know. I hate like being alone, you know. Again, just very extroverted. I love being with people and to talk with people. But no, like you have to learn to be alone. And what I just said right now, you know, like what he told me. Just, you know, like like when people can't talk to you because they're busy, just it doesn't mean they don't love you. It's just they're occupied, you know, and just it's fine if they don't talk to you. But you know, just reassuring yourself that people do love you, even if they're in their busyness.
That's so important to know, because a lot of times when I know that I'm speaking for myself, a lot of times when I'm feeling that loneliness or that sadness or I'll call to my buddies. I'll be like, hey, you know, I need some. What are you doing? What's up? And they're busy, and I tend to kind of beat myself up more. I'm like, oh man, no one loves me, no one. So that's a good statement, because you do have to understand that people are busy. It doesn't mean that they don't love you. It doesn't mean that they don't want to be there for you. It just means that they're busy at that moment in time. Man, you've got some some bangers, brother. Like, some wisdom that that's beyond your age. Do you read do you read the Bible now, or you just use your own experiences to come up with your beliefs?
No, well, definitely. Well, for me, a lot like just my belief, like just my worldview is definitely just on scripture, and just indulging in the Bible and scripture and receiving from church, and just a lot of it comes from that, but also just my own experience, and just the words that other people have told me, and just those resonate with me. That's where like a lot of just my my knowledge and just my understanding comes from.
Yeah, well, dude, whatever it is that you're doing, man, you're killing it, brother. You're killing it because you got some wisdom there. If you had to tell your 18-year-old self or your high school self something to motivate you to keep you going, what would you tell yourself?
Good question, man. That's a very good question. 18-year-old self. So we're talking, I'm going to be 21 this year, bro. Okay. Like, it's crazy. Even
so it's just right around the corner.
It's right around the corner, man.
It was yesterday.
In like 3 months. It definitely felt like yesterday I was 18. That was like 2022. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I was 18, 2022. So trying to think, what I tell myself 3 years ago as a high schooler. Gosh.
Or even younger. What would you tell yourself to keep you motivated and going?
Yeah. If I were to have a conversation with myself in 2022 at the age of 18, I think I would tell myself, definitely just be able to keep your head forward, and definitely be able to go through like some of the trials and the difficult season you're in, It's definitely difficult where you're going in right now, but it's definitely difficult. And you also have desires that you're wanting to get me. But I just want to tell you, man, like your desire will come to fruition. And the season of life that you're in right now, it will come away. You could reflect a year from now and see that the hurt won't be there anymore, Yeah,
the hurt.
Just saying like an injury is like it would an injury too. Like telling you like I injured my hand like riding my bike. Like it's definitely painful. It's painful now, but just looking back a year from now, it won't be there. Yeah. It'll heal. Time definitely heals wounds.
Yeah. Well, that's good advice. I see you got road rash. Is that from the bicycle?
Oh yeah. Well, look at that, man. It looked like I rode a bike and crashed, but no, I just was riding my electric bike, and I think that was a lesson not to go fast and try to pass somebody on the sidewalk to jump the curb. Another wisdom for you, audience members, is learn to have patience.
I want to buy an electric bike. Which one do you have?
Yeah, I got myself a Gosio bike. It's just some brand out. It's on Walmart. My mom just got. She got it from that website, and it was cheap. It was like $2,000 usually, but she got it on discount for like $1,500.
Oh, so shoot.
It was a good bargain, I gotta say. Yeah, right now it gets me around town. I used to have a car and van, but just unfortunately a lot of issues I had with it, and I had a Mercedes too, and so German cars are expensive as heck. So.
Oh, dude, man, the maintenance on German cars is ridiculous,
bro.
Dude.
I know.
Yeah,
man.
That's ridiculous.
Once my car just had started having a bunch of problems, so like we're not gonna be able to afford this, man. So we had to junk it, and honestly, like my bike right now is my replacement. That's my car right now.
Are you working or are you just going to school?
Yeah, right now I'm working student government job as a matter of fact.
On campus, cool.
Yeah, I work on campus, but that only pays so much, and so I'm looking for other opportunities next school year, and definitely looking over the summer for like some summer jobs and also side hustles I could do,
Yeah.
And definitely just applying for scholarships too, just tuition at Biola is definitely expensive as well. And
it's very expensive. Yeah, but it's a great school, man.
I love it. I love my time at Biola. It's definitely a great school, and and recently, like our faculty, just our school, we were rated as high as like MIT and Harvard faculty, man.
Wow.
Both are like top prestigious school where all like the smart people go.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just our teachers, our professors getting ranked as high as them, like that's an honor, man.
Yeah, it is. Wow, Matthew, you have definitely impressed me. I know we just met literally right before we sat down, but you have definitely impressed me, brother. Man, if we have men like you in the future, I'm optimistic. I know you're gonna do a lot of great things, brother. A lot of great things because you've overcome so much and you're so strong mentally. You're so strong, you know, just the power to keep moving and keep going. So thank you for letting me talk to you and having this conversation with me.
No, my pleasure. And again, I appreciate the opportunity. I'm definitely thankful.
If you ever want to come and use this stuff, like you're more than welcome. Just because you're
Oh,
so close, Biola's like 5 minutes
yeah,
away.
it
Yeah.
is. It's not that far.
Yeah, just come in. Because when you got here, you said about starting a podcast. You're welcome to all the equipment.
I appreciate that, man.
Just I'll give you the code and just come in and you can use it. All right.
I appreciate that, man.
All right, brother. Well, thank you again to the audience. Thank you for watching.
Yes.
I love you. If you have any questions, any concerns, comments, leave them in the comment section, and either I will address them or my guest will address them.
Yeah.
And we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Love you guys.
Love you all.